Good morning everyone. This is your subject physical education of class 12th. Today we are going to do chapter number 6, lecture number 2. The name of the chapter is Test and Measurement in Sports, and we are also going to discuss the answers of question from lecture number 1. So today we are going to start with a new subtopic, which is measurement of cardiovascular fitness. In this subtopic, we are going to study two tests. One is your Harvard step test and second is your Rockport test. So before starting the discussion on test, we are going to understand what cardiovascular fitness is. So cardiovascular fitness is the ability of the heart and lungs to supply rich oxygen blood to the working muscles, tissues, and the ability of the muscles to use that oxygen to produce energy for movements. So when we talk about cardiovascular fitness, here we are only talking about the abilities of our heart and our lungs, because these both organs help us in providing oxygen rich blood, which is used by the working muscle so that we can do a better workout. This type of fitness is required to sustain physical activity, or it can be said that cardiovascular fitness is essential for us to perform aerobic activities. So the first test is Harvard step test. It is a cardiovascular fitness test. It is also called aerobic fitness test. So you need to know both the names. In exams they can ask you in any of the name. It was developed by Broha and others in 1943. It is used to measure the cardiovascular fitness or aerobic fitness by checking the recovery rate. So in this whole test, after the process is all done, we just check the recovery rate of an individual, and through that we come to know about the cardiovascular fitness of an individual. So now we are going to talk about the equipments which are used in this test. And those are a gym box or a bench of 20 inches high for men and 16 inches for women, and a stopwatch and a cadence tape. Now the procedure of the test. First, the athlete stands in front of a bench or box, so you need to face the bench or box and stand in front of it. Second, on the command go, the athlete steps up and down on the bench or box at a rate of 30 steps per minute. So for each time you need to take a step up and down. This is what you have to do, and this is what you need to do for like 30 steps per minute. So that means in 1 second up and 1 second down. So this whole test is of 5 minutes. That means that in 5 minutes you need to cover 150 steps. Point number 3, stopwatch is switched on simultaneously at the start of the stepping. So whenever an individual is given the command go, the stopwatch will start. Point number 4, after that the athlete sits down immediately and completion of the test, that is 5 minutes. Fifth point, the total number of heartbeats are counted between 1 to 1.5 minutes after completion of the last steps. So after completion of 5-minute whole test, after that an individual will be given 1 minute rest, and from 1 to 1.5, that means for 30 seconds the heartbeat or the pulse rate will be recorded. The heartbeat are counted for 30 seconds period. Again, the heartbeats are noted for 30 seconds after the finishing of the test. After that, for the third time, the heartbeats are noted after 3 minutes of completion of the test for 30 seconds period. So the heartbeat will be recorded 3 times, and every time it will be recorded for 30 seconds. The same foot must start the step up each time, and an erect posture must be assumed on the bench. Now the calculation of the scores. The athlete's fitness index score is calculated with the help of the following formulas, and the formula is 100 multiplied by test duration in seconds divided by 2 into or multiplied by the sum of heartbeats in recovery period. That means the total duration is 5 minutes, and if you take it into 60, it will be 5 into 60, which will give you around 300 seconds. And sum of the heartbeats means the heartbeat which you have recorded in the whole process for like 3 times, those will be summed up and will be recorded, will be put in the formula. Now the advantages. The first advantage is minimum equipments are required for conducting this test. Second, it requires minimal cost. Third, it is simple to set up and conduct. Now the disadvantages. There are differences in biomechanical characteristics among individuals. So each and every individual is different according to their height or shape and size of the body. But the height of the box or bench remains same for tall individuals and short individuals. It will be easy for tall individuals and difficult for short individuals to perform this test because of their height. Second, the same difference can be seen in case of body weight. Those individuals who are overweight, it will be difficult for them. So it is not implemented equally to all the individuals. So because it is not accurate because of the different shape and sizes of the body of the individual, that is why it is not implemented equally for all the individuals. The second test is Rockport 1 mile test. It is also known as Rockport Fitness Walking Test. This test is suitable for sedentary individual. The objectives of this test is to check or observe the development of the individual's VO2 max, that is maximum volume of oxygen. Equipments which are required are 400-meter track, stopwatch and weighing scale. Now the procedure. While conducting or administering this test, it should be a windless day, so that there is no wind, because of wind it will be a resistant to a person who is running. Second, first of all, take the body weight of the individual on a perfect weighing machine. So the weighing machine should be perfectly working. Third point, the weight should be taken with minimum clothes on the body of the individual. So one should not wear shoes and any heavy clothing. Fourth point is, then mark the starting point on a 100-meter track, and it will be a 1 mile test, so that 1 mile is 1609 meters. So you need to mark a starting point. Fifth point, the individual has to run the distance of 1 mile, that is 1609 meters in minimum time, and that time will be recorded. So record the time of 1 mile with a stopwatch. Immediately after finishing the 1 mile walk or run, record the heartbeat per minute with manual or monitor method. Now the calculation of VO2 max. The formula is given here. So this is the formula and you have to put it the way it is given here, where the body weight should be in pounds. Now according to the gender which is given there in the formula, if an individual is male, then it will be written 1 there, and if an individual is a female, then it will be written 0. Time is in minutes and hundredth of minute. Heart rate is in beats per minute, and age is in years. So if an individual is 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, so this is how you are going to put it. After calculating the VO2 max, the comparison of the individual can be done. With the results of previous test, it is expected that with appropriate training between each test, the analysis would surely indicate the improvement of the individual. So, how it is done? That it is a kind of pre and post test which is taken. You need to take a test first, then you provide that individual with some training so that he or she can enhance his cardiovascular fitness, and after that again you can take a post test which will actually give you, or you can easily evaluate the cardiovascular fitness. Now the advantages. The first is minimum equipment are required. Second, it is simple to set up and conduct. Third, it can be conducted by the athlete. Fourth, this test can be conducted on more than one individual at a time. Now the next subtopic is computation of fitness index. The athlete's fitness index score is calculated with the help of two formulas. We have already done the first one, which was for long term, and the formula was 100 multiplied by test duration in seconds divided by 2 multiplied by sum of the heartbeats in recovery period. Now the fitness index score for short term is, the first one will be the same, that is 100 multiplied by test duration in second, which will be 100 into 300, and then it will be divided by 5.5 into pulse count between 1 to 1.5 minutes after exercise. So here we are not going to sum up all the three recordings. We are only going to take the first recording, the first heartbeat which was recorded, and these are the two different formulas for recording or measuring your fitness index score. Now we are going to start with Rickley and Jones Senior Citizen Fitness Test. So this test is also known as Fullerton Functional Test of Senior Citizens. Rickley and Jones developed the Senior Citizen Fitness Test in 2001. This test has provided or proved to be beneficial for senior citizens. It helps the early identification of at-risk participants. Along with this, it is significant to plan safe and effective physical exercise programs for senior citizens, because individuals' health and fitness level can be known better with the help of this test. So this test is actually proved very profitable for the senior citizens, because through this test we can recognize or identify any of the risk which can happen in future, or if it is like growing gradually in a participant, and we can also understand the physical health of an individual, and according to his or her health we can make or prepare different physical activities or programs for different individuals or different senior citizens. So the first test battery is chair and stand test. The main purpose of this test is to measure the lower body strength, particularly the strength of legs, which is usually required for various tasks such as climbing stairs, getting in and out of vehicle, bathtub or chair. I have also provided you with the picture of how this test is to be conducted. Equipment required are, we need to have a chair with a straight back and a seat of at least 44 centimeters and a stopwatch to record the time. Instructions which are given to the participants are, first, the participant should sit in the middle of the chair. Second, he should keep his hands on the opposite shoulder crossed at the wrist. So both the hands will be like on the shoulders, but you have to keep your left hand on your right shoulder and right hand on your left shoulder. Third point, the feet should be flat on the floor. Fourth, his back should be erect, should be straight. Fifth, repeat standing up and sitting down for 30 seconds. Now the procedure. Keep the chair against the wall. The participant sits in the middle of the seat. Third point, his feet should be shoulder width apart and flat on the floor. The arms should be crossed at the wrist and held close to the chest. From the sitting position, the participant should stand up completely and then sit down completely at the start of the signal. This is repeated for 30 seconds. Count the total number of complete chair stands. Last point, in case the participant has completed a full stand from the sitting position, when the time is finished, the final stand is counted in the total. Now the scoring. The score is the total number of completed chair stand during the given 30 seconds. So in this whole process, whatever the number of stand-ups an individual has performed, that is to be counted and recorded for 30 seconds, and that will be the score of that individual. And then you can judge the individual's strength according to the different norms of which are given in the table. Second is arm curl test. The main purpose of this test is to assess the upper body strength and endurance which is required for performing household and other activities involving lifting and carrying things. Equipments required are a 5-pound weight for women and a 8-pound weight for men, a chair without arms, and a stopwatch is to be required. So all these things are required for performing or conducting this test. The procedure is, the participant sits on the chair, holds the weight in the hand using a suitcase grip. It means the palm should be facing towards the body. Second, the arm should be in a vertically downward position. Third, the upper arm should not move but lower arm should move freely. Fourth point, curl the arm up through a complete range of motion gradually, keeping the palm up. Fifth point, when the arm is lowered through the complete range of motion, gradually return to the starting position. Sixth point, the arm should be completely bent and then completely straightened at the elbow. Seventh point, this complete action should be repeated by the participant as many times as possible within 30 seconds. The score is the total number of arm curls performed within the given 30 seconds duration. The third test is chair sit and reach test. The purpose of the test is to assess the lower body flexibility, which is important for the good posture, normal gait patterns, and various mobility tasks such as getting in and out of a bathtub or a car. Now, the equipments required are a ruler, a chair with straight back approximately 44 centimeters high, The procedure of the test is the participant sits on the edge of the chair kept against a wall for a safety purpose, so that if you are bending down or moving in a chair, so it should not it should be in a balanced position so that no one should get injured or hurt. Point number 2, one foot should remain flat on the floor while the other leg should be extended forward with the knees in straight position. Third, heel should be on the floor and ankle should be bent at 90 degrees. Fourth, place one hand on the top of the other with tips of the middle fingers at the same level. Fifth point, instruct the participant to inhale and then as he exhales, reach the forward towards the toe by bending at the hip. Sixth says his back should be straight and head up. Seventh, avoid any jerk or bounce and never stretch too much. So it should be according to your capability. Just because of the sake that the test is taken, one should not do jerks or bounces body or stretch too much, because any of this thing is done, it will create a kind of pain in the muscles. Eighth point, keep the knee straight and hold the reach for 2 seconds. Ninth point, the distance is measured between the tip of the fingers and the toes. If the fingertips touch the toes, then the score is 0. If they do not touch, measure the distance between the fingers and the toe, which will be a negative score, and if it overlaps, that means it will be a positive score. So if they are just touching, then it will be 0, and if the fingertips of hand does not reach your toe, that means it will be a negative score, and if they overlaps it, then it will be a positive score. The scoring. So the score is noted down to the nearest ½ inch or 1 centimeter as the distance reached, either a negative or a positive score. Next test is your back scratch test. The purpose of this test is to assess the upper body shoulder flexibility, which is essential for a person to perform various jobs such as combing hair, putting on overhead garments, reaching for a seat belt, etc. The equipment required here is only a ruler, because an individual will be standing while performing this test. The procedure of this test is performed in a standing position. Second, keep one hand behind the head and lower it down gradually over the shoulder and reach as far as possible at the middle of your back. For this, you can also see the image which is given there. Your palm should touch your body and the fingers should be downwards. Then carry your other arm behind your back with palm facing outward and fingers upward, and try to reach up as far as possible in order to touch or overlap the middle finger of the other hand. Fifth point, fingers should be aligned. So they should be in a same line. Sixth point is measure the distance between the tips of the finger, and then again it will be the same process, that if the fingertips just touch each other, then the score will be 0. If they do not touch, then that distance will be a negative score, and if they overlap each other, then it will be a positive score. Now the scoring. Record the best score out of 2 trials to the nearest centimeter or ½ inch. The following table can be shown as for the recommended norms which are given there for different age groups. The next test is 8 foot up and go test. The purpose of the test is to evaluate the speed, agility and balance of a person while moving. Equipment required are a chair with straight back about 44 centimeters high, a stopwatch, cone, marker, measuring tape and an area without any hindrance. The procedure of the test is keep a chair next to the wall and place the cone marker 8 feet away in front of the chair. Second, the participant is initially completely seated, hands resting on the knees and feet flat on the ground. Third point, on the command go, stopwatch is switched and the participant stands and walk, no running at all, as quickly as possible towards the cone, turns around and returns to the chair to sit down. Time is noted as he sits down on the chair, and again 2 trials are given per participant. So in the whole test you have to mark the area first, and then the participant first will be sitting completely properly on the chair, and as the command will be given of go, the participant will get up, move towards the cone and come back to the seat and will be seated again. This whole test or this whole process will be recorded according to the time. Now the scoring. The best trial is recorded to the nearest 1/10 second. The last test of Rickley and Jones is 6-minute walk test. Purpose is to assess the aerobic fitness and anaerobic endurance of a person. Equipment required are a measuring tape and a stopwatch. The procedure of the test is first, the walking distance is marked, that is 45.72 meters or 50 yards in a rectangular area of 5 yards with cone placed at regular intervals to indicate the distance covered. Regular intervals means that after like every 5 yards, so it will be 5, then 10, then 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. This is how it will go till 50 yards. Second, efforts are made to walk maximum distance as quickly as possible in 6 minutes. Next, the practice trial is given to the participant. He may stop any time if he desires so. Now the scoring. The total distance covered in 6 minutes is recorded to the nearest meter. Now the homework for this lecture. Question number 1 is explain Rockport 1 mile test. Question number 2 is explain back scratch test. Question number 3, explain arm curl test. Question number 4, calculate the fitness index score if the total test duration was 300 seconds and the number of heartbeat between 1 to 1.5 minute was 90, between 2 to 2.5 minute is 80, and between 3 to 3.5 minute is 70. We are going to discuss the answers of the questions which were given in the lecture number 1 as homework. The question number 1 was explain the procedure of 50 meters dash. So the procedure of 50 meter dash test is the test involves running a single maximum sprint over 50 meters with the recorded time. Start from the stationary standing position with one foot in front of the other. The front foot must be behind the starting line. Once the subject is ready and motionless, the starter gives the instructions set, then go. The tester should provide hints for maximizing speed, and the participant should be encouraged to not slow down before crossing the finish line. Next question was, explain the test used for measuring agility. Answer. The test used for measuring agility is shuttle fitness test. Purpose of the test is to measure agility. Equipment required are non-slip surface, marker, cones, measurement tape and a stopwatch. Procedure of this test is, shuttle run test require the participant to run back and forth between two lines or markers at a particular pace or as quick as possible. Some tests use a set distance to shuttle between, other may use a ladder shuttle in which the shuttle distance changes with each run. Question number 3 was, explain the medicine ball throw test. Answer. Medicine ball throw test, the purpose is to measure the upper body strength and explosive power. Equipment required are medicine ball for boys is 3 kg, for girls is 1 kg, measuring tape, safe place and an assistant. Procedure of the test is, warm up thoroughly, stand up with both feet behind the marked line, hold the ball overhead with 2 hands, throw the ball as far as possible, take 3 attempts and record the best score. Scoring is, measure the distance covered by the subject as per the norms. Grading is done. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you.